Welcome to the Echo Tips podcast.
Here's a sneak peek into what we're going to cover in this week's episode of the Echo Tips podcast.
Here's the skill Zoo Tycoon by Stefan Rapon.
So I played this before, so...
Welcome to Zoo Tycoon. Are you ready for an exciting adventure as a zoo director?
Hello and welcome to Trading Tycoon, the game where you get rich or get wrecked trying. Now,
Okay.
Are you ready to become a player, learn how to take a chance and start trading your way to your first million?
Yes. Yes? Oh, there we go. Well, hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Echo Tips podcast. It's good to have you guys back with us, you returning listeners and you new listeners alike. And to introduce our theme today, we're going to be taking a little break this week and looking at some games and different things, which always kind of educate you about what the Echo is really capable of, and, interactions and the nuances of really how you can put some spit and polish on something and really make it pretty amazing. Plus, we all need to have fun with games and stuff. And so before I delve into that in any sort of depth, and we talk about, in fact, we're going to be talking about some Tycoon games. We're going to look at Farm Tycoon, I believe probably Trading Tycoon. Oh, there's a Zoo Tycoon. There's several different Tycoons. But before we delve into that in any sort of depth, and a tip of the hat to Robin Christopherson, who recently did an episode on Farm Tycoon, so it kind of inspired me in a way. And anywho, first off, I'd like to welcome our new listeners who are wondering what this show is all about. Welcome, you new listeners. I'm the host of the podcast. My name is David Ward. I'm an assistive technology instructor with the New Vision program at Goodwill, based here in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Southwest Virginia. And if I sound a little off today, it's because I'm just getting over a head cold, so I apologize for that if I sound a little sniffly or a little congested or whatever, so my apologies on that front. Now, this show, for you new listeners, you may be wondering, is dealing with all things A-Lady related, the Amazon Echo line of devices, home automation, applications for children, parents, caregivers, seniors. Every branch and imagination. New equipment comes out, we talk about it. AI tools and betas come out, we talk about it. And we generally try to keep our episodes, I used to say 5 to 15 minutes long. I probably should amend that, as lately it's definitely closer to 10 to to 20 minutes long. So we've kind of been going a little longer lately. And we do have a new feature we're kind of testing out for you new listeners called Omnibus episodes. That's where we take everything from our tiny little episodes and we wedge it into one giant sandwich of an episode, like a giant Dagwood sandwich, and everything you really would hope to know about a particular topic or feature. So we did that with the alarms. You never knew there was so much to know about alarms, but there is. And we also did that on all things AI-related AI betas. So we took a whole bunch of different things from third parties and Amazon's beta features, and we wedged those all together as an episode as well. So those are kind of exceptions to our general rule of keeping it somewhere around the 20-minute mark or something like that. Anywho, we welcome you here and you returning listeners as well, and we have a back catalog of some 5 seasons, over 130,000 listens, and now that we're in our 6th season, and we're really kind of wrapping up our 6th season here in the next couple of weeks, but over 130,000 listens, so we really appreciate your listenership. And at the tail end of the episode, I'll mention some ways you can reach out with thoughts or suggestions. By the way, if you like those omnibus episodes, I've heard some feedback, and you think we'd like to sprinkle some more of those in, which I'm thinking I probably will do, but I'd love to hear more feedback, either pro or con, either way, and we'll mention some ways you can do that at the end of the episode. Now, today's episode, dealing with games and Tycoon games, Farm Tycoon, Trading Tycoon, what was the other one I said we we're going to do? Zoo Tycoon. This is kind of a filler episode in a way, because I had an idea in mind. I recorded an entire episode, And who knows, I might even stick it on the tail end of this one. If you want to listen after the closing jingle, there may be another episode stuck on here about something called AI Game Master, which was kind of an experiment to see about AI capabilities and leading down your road with a narrative, a game. But the thing, I later played with it later, and it started to space out and get its dialogue all screwball-y, and before you know it, it's asking me to spend $10 a month, and so I kind of was questioning whether I really wanted to release that episode as a primary episode or not. But I might release it as a bonus or stick it on the tail end of this, but it had some interesting premises still in it about how AI could be used to make kind of games more entertaining and dialogue and things like that. But today we're going to stick to more of a traditional game, like I said, the Tycoon series. But before we delve into that in any sort of detail, we're going to go to a brief message about our podcast, and then we will be, as always, right back.
This episode is brought to you by New Vision and Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a non-profit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. And we thank you for listening. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision.
Well, hello again, and welcome back to the show. As I mentioned, we're going to be dealing with the Tycoon Games today, and I say that like there's, a particular branding, and maybe out in the main world there is a trademark on that, like your typical like video game consoles, I don't know, or computer systems, maybe there's a I knew there was back in my day, I think it was like a roller coaster tycoon, and there was all sorts of different tycoons and stuff. So that probably was owned by somebody. I don't know if the guys who made SimCity, Maxis, or whatever they were called, owned that or not. But here on the Amazon Echo, it seems to be kind of willy-nilly. So even though I say the Tycoon Games, they don't really necessarily have any relationship, it looks like, to each other. I mean, there may be one developer that makes a couple of them, but the three I'm going to highlight today, the Farm Tycoon, the Trading Tycoon, and the Zoo Tycoon, don't seem to have any developer relationship. They just seem to be, a couple of them look like they're just made by some individuals, and one of them made by probably a small company. But anyway, we're going to delve right into that. So if you have an echo and hearing distance of me, don't feel like hearing the demo here and at home while your echo is firing up to play a Tycoon game, you may want to mute the ears of your echo that's in hearing distance. So I'll give you a chance to do that. And so just give you a chance to do that. And once again, a tip of the hat to Robin Christopherson, who recently did a demo onto this. And if you're really interested in more games and skills and things like that, that's what Robin does every day of the week, pretty much. He has a brand new episode out every day of the week, and he does a lot on games and stuff. So, and all on the Amazon Echo, by the way. Okay, so let's start off with the classic. How about the farm game? Okay. All right, so here all we do is, Alexa, open Farm Tycoon. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, here's Farm Tycoon.
Mm-hmm.
You are the Farm Tycoon.
Mm-hmm.
This game is about decision-making, where you have to make tough decisions and take risks.
Mm.
Put your mind to the test and prove you can become the Farm Tycoon.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to move fast and climb to the top of the rankings. Welcome home. I'm sorry about your father. This farm has seen better days, but now, you are in charge. Rebuild it with blood, sweat and wise decisions and make him proud.
Okay.
It's daybreak even, and the roosters are crowing. Do you wake up and tend to the animals?
Yes.
Great discipline. City living has not wearied you from hard work. The poultry is healthy and producing good returns.
All right, good.
Your wealth has increased to 60. The town's appetite for sugar is rising. Do you plant sugar cane?
Yes.
It seems people of the town have a sweet tooth, and cannot get enough of that serotonin. Your wealth has increased to 70. An aspiring fashion designer has asked for free wool to start their label.
Okay.
Do you provide the wool?
Yes.
The designer turns out to be a fashion genius, and demand for your wool has skyrocketed. Your wealth has increased to 80. A merchant with questionable ties to tyrants back in Europe offers to trade beer and rum. Do you accept and sell alcohol into the town?
Exit. Okay, so you get a little bit of an idea there about how that works. That one's a little more, at least at the beginning here, it seems like very much yes, no, very ABC kind of choices, you know. Maybe as you get further in, it gets a little more, you kind of craft the world the way you want to. All right, let's give it another try. Let's try Zoo, as in Animal Zoo Tycoon. All right, let's give this a try. Alexa, open Zoo Tycoon skill.
You've disabled Zoo Tycoon in the past. Do you want to enable it again?
Yes.
Here's the skill Zoo Tycoon by Stefan Rapon.
So I played this before, so.
Welcome to Zoo Tycoon. Are you ready for an exciting adventure as a zoo director?
Yes. Yes? Maybe? Okay, there we go.
Great. I'm excited to welcome you as a zoo director.
Yeah.
I'm Sally, your personal assistant here at the zoo. My job is to provide you with tips and tricks and support you in creating our zoo. Please tell me your name first, so I can assist you better. What's your name?
David.
Okay, your name is David.
That's right.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Great, David. Your task is to build a zoo from the ground up and create a unique animal world. Build enclosures, attract visitors, and ensure that our animals and guests are happy. Are you ready to start this exciting journey?
Yes.
Fantastic. Let's get started. To construct buildings and enclosures, our zoo needs a construction yard first. Each building, such as the construction yard, costs money. You have a starting capital of $70,000. The construction yard costs $12,000. Would you like to build the construction yard now?
Yes. Maybe. Can't build anything without it.
Great, David. Keep in mind, each building has a certain construction time. The construction yard only takes 1 day to complete.
Okay.
It will be finished tomorrow. Once you've finished your daily work in the zoo and have nothing else to do, you can end the day and proceed to the next day. We can do so, as we have to wait for the completion of the construction yard.
Okay.
Ready to end the day?
Yes?
All right, David, your first day as a zoo director has come to an end. At the end of a workday, I'll provide you with information about how the day went. Since our zoo doesn't have any animals yet, there are no visitors and we haven't earned any money yet.
Okay.
Let's move on so that we can soon welcome our first visitors. Are you ready for your next workday?
Yes. Really starting from scratch here.
Super, your first building, the construction yard, has been completed. Just a heads up, if you want to see your zoo, check the Alexa app. I'll send you an updated photo of your zoo whenever there's progress.
That's cool.
David, from now on, you can go to the yard to construct more buildings. Would you like to go to the construction yard now?
Yes.
Hello, David. Nice to meet you. I'm Brian, the head of the construction yard. You can commission buildings and enclosures from me. Some buildings unlock additional features, like new staff members. But let's start from the beginning. Would you like information about the first construction project?
Yes.
The next construction project is the zoo entrance. The cost is $16,000. You currently have $58,000. Should we start construction on the zoo entrance?
Yes. Figure we gotta have one.
Great.
Right?
We've started the construction. The construction time is 1 day. Sally will let you know once we're done with the
I hope it has those
construction.
Jurassic Park doors.
Would you like to leave the construction yard?
Yes.
Take care.
Seems like everything's done for today. Would you like to end the day?
Alexa, exit. Okay, so very kind of interesting. I really love the sound effects and stuff. Really good. It changes the whole mood of the thing, doesn't it? All right. We'll do one real quick one last because I said I would do it. That's the Trading Tycoon. Alexa, open Trading Tycoon.
You've disabled Trading Tycoon in the past.
I know.
Do you want to enable it again?
Yes.
Okay, here's Trading Tycoon. Trading Tycoon contains
fresh.
mature content that may not be suitable for all ages. Would you like to continue?
Yes. Not too sure why it says that. I don't know if there's some dynamic content or something.
Hello and welcome to Trading Tycoon, the game where you get rich or get wrecked trying. Now,
Okay.
Are you ready to become a player, learn how to take a chance and start trading your way to your first million?
Yes. Yes? Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Now we're rolling.
I can't do that. Ask me something else. Do you want to buy or sell assets or check your portfolio?
Help?
The aim of this game is to increase your wealth status to stay as high as you can on the Trading Tycoon Filthy Rich list. We give you a starting wedge of 100,000 Tycoon tokens, a free status symbol, and reward you 10 Trading Tycoon tokens for every minute you play the game. You trade the tokens against the real-time prices of 5 volatile assets, Bitcoin, Ether, Dogecoin and Amazon or Tesla share prices to try and increase the value of your portfolio. Increase your portfolio by 10 times and become a Trading Tycoon guard. To start trading, use the buy or sell command along with the name of the asset. If you change your mind during a trade, use the cancel command. Use the check command to review your portfolio, your rank on the Filthy Rich list, or current asset prices. You can also try to increase your token stash by buying status symbols or taking a chance. To find out how these features work, use the learn more command. When you're happy with your position, use the hold command. If you get into financial difficulty and you want to start again, just say new game. Now, what would you like to do?
Buy Amazon.
Now you determine the size of the trade you want to make. For your first trade, don't go all in. I suggest somewhere between 10 and 25% of your trading tokens. So, what percentage of your token stash do you want to trade for Amazon?
20%.
Bye!
It's crazy.
Something didn't quite work out on that trade. Maybe the Fed blocked it. Let's try again. What percent of your tokens
Alexa,
do you want
exit.
to...
Okay, so that gives you a little bit of an idea. So, and I don't know how deep these games go, but it seems like you put quite a bit of production in several of these. So, anyway, hopefully that gives you guys a little food for thought and things you can try out. If you have thoughts or suggestions for me for a future episode or a topic you'd like to see us address, feel free to reach out to us on Facebook or Twitter at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys. Or you can even send an old-fashioned email to us at info@goodwillvalleys.com. Now, I would just stipulate in that post on Facebook or Twitter, now known as X, or in the email, just put somewhere in the subject line or in the post, you're trying to reach the New Vision program or the Echo Tips podcast, and that way that message will find its way to me. And don't forget, if you guys have thoughts about those omnibus episodes and things that we've done, longer format, occasionally just sprinkle those in. I'd love to hear feedback, positive or negative, either way. And I have heard from some of you, so that's great, and I'd love to hear some more. Well, until next time, it's time to turn the ears back on your Echo. See if you too can be a tycoon. I'm David Ward for the New Vision program, and we thank you for listening.
This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a non-profit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. And we thank you for listening. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision.
Hello, so as I mentioned before, I had recorded an entire other episode about another skill that really kind of later I learned fizzled out on me, and I wouldn't really want anybody to spend any money on unlocking this until maybe the developer fixes some of their problems, but still nonetheless kind of interesting as far as how AI could inform a narrative of a choose-your-own-adventure game. So I decided to paste it on here, guys, as a kind of a bonus, just kind of a extra thing, if you guys want to kind of take a listen to it, and it kind of gets kind of interesting. What it presents is possible. But anywho, so take it with a grain of salt or a whole bag of salt, and here you go.
Welcome to the Echo Tips podcast.
Here's a sneak peek into what we're going to cover in this week's episode of the Echo Tips podcast.
Which game would you like to play? You can choose classic fantasy, zombie survival, secret agent, or treasure hunter. You discreetly observe the wealthy woman's actions as she effortlessly slips in a crowded area, making her way to the museum's most precious jewels. To your relief, your concealed firearm is securely hidden under your costume, ensuring your safety. The environment escalates with tension. You can 1. Continue observing the wealthy woman. 2. Approach the museum staff with a concern about security. 3. Head to the museum's security room to check the surveillance footage. Or anything else.
Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Echo Tips podcast. It's good to have you returning listeners with us and new listeners this week as well. I'll start off by mentioning our subject material for today, and that is delving into AI smarts and how that can really inform maybe game development and the personalities of things that we interact with today. And in particular, we'll be looking at a skill known as AI Game Master. And we'll be contrasting it with something we discussed earlier that was actually announced at the Amazon event, a third party that developed a skill known as Character AI, which also had some kind of gaming components in it as well. So we'll be discussing that and how that can maybe inform really kind of an interesting dialogue, narratives, choose your own adventure games, and the like here in the future. But first off, I'd like to introduce myself to our new listeners. Welcome, you new listeners. Welcome to the Echo Tips podcast. I'm the host, David Ward. I'm an assistive technology instructor with the New Vision program at Goodwill, based here in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Southwest Virginia, where it is definitely summertime and we are running our air conditioners pretty regularly. Now, despite that, I do apologize. I sound a little off today. I did get a head cold over the weekend, and I'm still trying to get a little bit over that. Now, you'll find our shows are nuggetized episodes. We're in our 6th season with over 130,000 listens to the podcast. We're generally a weekly show. We put out new episodes usually every Wednesday or Thursday. Try to anyway. And our past 6 seasons have all sorts of, our past 5 seasons, and now we're in our 6th season, have all sorts of different things we've covered. Home automation, applications for kids, for parents, caregivers, seniors. We talk about skills and games. We talk about music, videos, all sorts of features, alarms, reminders, just all sorts of stuff. New equipment that's come out over the years, AI smarts. And so by all means, go back and check out our back catalog. If there's a particular task or thing you're trying to accomplish with your Amazon Echo. Now, I do say that generally our shows are generally shorter, and I'm probably ought to start saying like they're 10 to 20 minutes long. But I do have a few omnibus episodes in there which are really big, where we try to jam pack together a whole bunch of stuff into one episode. And I have had some feedback that some people enjoyed that. And so if you'd like to see some future omnibus episodes, we'll probably be sprinkling those in from time to time if I continue to get some positive feedback about that. That way you have one kind of giant episode. You can learn everything you really want to know, maybe about a particular subject, like we did one on alarms, or all the AI announcements and beta features as they kind of rolled out. Well, anyway, so before we delve into our topic here of this game, AI Game Master, and how that may inform character developments or personalities, if you will, and dialogue on our Amazon Echoes in the future, we're going to go to a brief message about our podcast, and then, as always, we will be right back.
This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a non-profit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. And we thank you for listening. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision.
Well, hello again, and welcome back to the podcast. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be dealing with a skill in particular known as AI Game Master, and I just kind of stumbled across this completely by happenstance, going and searching for AI and see if there's anything new in the store, and I don't know if this is particularly new. I don't recall ever running across it before. Now, this is a U.S., it seems, specific-centric game at this time, and I don't know if this is just kind of a beta attempt at something or what it is. And I'm not really highlighting this game so much because I think you spend hours and hours in this game. Honestly, I don't know. It might not have limited functionality. And I actually had a lot of trouble just trying to launch it today. So that may be a cloud problem, an internet problem. I don't know. Maybe they just don't have a lot of resources behind this skill. But once again, I'm not really highlighting this game like this is the end-all be-all of AI games. I'm really highlighting because it kind of has a feature set and a way of directing you that I've never observed before, but I think could be really kind of informative, just not for games, but other skills and things we may use, as AI smarts are kind of built more into the way the thing converses with us and takes our own personal dialogue, and that kind of informs the narrative going forward. And so that's kind of interesting. And we've seen something like that before from character AI's attempt at games. And by all means, go back and check our back catalog with that. Now, before I delve into this, if you do have an Amazon Echo in hearing distance of me before I do the demo, you may want to shut its ears off. That way your Echo isn't talking to you while I'm trying to do the demo. And so I would encourage you to just take a second to do that. You're always welcome to pause the podcast and come right back as well. Okay, so hopefully everybody's had a chance to do that. So once again, the title of this skill or game is AI Game Master, although in the notes it does say the invocation word could just be Game Master, so I haven't tried that. But anyway, that gives you a little bit of feedback. It does look like it may have some kind of paid-for upgrades. I can't really speak to those in any way. But once again, I'm not really highlighting this to just kind of as, you know, an end-all be-all to games, but more about the concept and what it may mean for gaming in the future and dialogue and things like that. All right, well, let's get right into it. Alexa, open AI Game Master.
Okay, here's AI Game Master. Would you like to continue where you left off?
No.
Which game would you like to play? You can choose classic fantasy, zombie survival, secret agent, or treasure hunter.
Treasure hunter. We'll see, it's processing.
You make your way into the sleek Diamond Museum, keeping a close eye on the other museum goers. You observe a woman in opulent attire, acting suspiciously near the exhibit. She appears to be distracting the guards, giving you the perfect opening to tail her. The brass band's tempo heightens with excitement. You gain 20 experience points. You can 1. Observe the wealthy woman's actions. 2. Confront the woman about her suspicious behavior. 3. Create a diversion to distract the security guards. Or anything else. What do you do?
That's right, I forgot. You gotta say your name in order to get it to work. Okay. Alexa, discreetly observe the woman and check to make sure you still have your concealed firearm under your suit jacket.
You discreetly observe the wealthy woman's actions as she effortlessly slips in a crowded area, making her way to the museum's most precious jewels. To your relief, your concealed firearm is securely hidden under your costume, ensuring your safety. The environment escalates with tension. You can 1. Continue observing the wealthy woman. 2. Approach the museum staff with a concern about security. 3. Head to the museum's security room to check the surveillance footage. Or anything else. What do you do?
Alexa, continue to observe the woman discreetly.
Careful not to draw attention, you discreetly track the wealthy woman's every move. She heads toward the eastern wing of the museum, lingering near the vault's vicinity, casting furtive glances to ensure no one is watching. The tension in the museum thickens as the suspense escalates with the jazzy rhythm in the background. You can 1. Follow the woman to the eastern wing. 2. Inform the museum's security about the suspicious activities. 3. Find a way to discreetly access the vault. Or anything else. What do you do?
Alexa, slowly approach the woman and engage her in conversation.
With practiced finesse, you engage the woman in conversation, gracefully slipping into character as an art enthusiast. Introducing yourself, you strike up a pleasant conversation about a particularly exquisite diamond, deftly gaining her trust. The music enchants taut nerves in the background, setting the expectation for unexpected turns. You can 1. Continue gaining the woman's trust. 2. Try to glean information about her mission. 3. Excuse yourself and covertly return to headquarters. Or anything else. What do you do?
Alexa, exit. So yeah, a very interesting kind of game, and I honestly had a lot of trouble trying to get back into it the second time today, so I don't know if there's some problems in the cloud right today with a bandwidth, or maybe this is just a real small-time developer where they don't have a lot of cloud resources and it's real popular. Or it's probably intensive because it's using AI components as well, so it may only allow so many users at a time. But the point of this is, in this experiment, is not so much the game in itself as the idea that's kind of presented and how it's subtly different than, I guess it's the same in some respects, but it's subtly different than the character AI's approach, which you may recall character AI, while is primarily focused on the ability for you to talk to characters like historical figures or even fictional characters like historical characters like Albert Einstein or something like that. But it also has a game mode where you can go in there and do like an adventure or something like that. Now, in our past experience, and you can go check out that past episode, it's kind of, it just kind of gives you a rough sketch, you're like a medieval knight that starts off in a dungeon somewhere or in a cave and there's a monster. But after that, it's pretty much, there's no structure to it. It just kind of goes all willy-nilly and based on what you say or where you prompt it. it can kind of lead you down different roads, but it really just seems to be willy-nilly. It has no real ultimate outcome or goal, or you're going to win a prize or save the maiden or anything like that. Well, this seems to have a little more of a structure to it, and the way that it comes back to you and asks, several scenarios, like a multiple choice. But what would fool you if you don't pay attention is it isn't really multiple choice. I mean, it is in a sense that it's directing you maybe towards a ultimate goal, in this case where you're doing the treasure hunt or you're going to prevent a theft or whatever the case may be, you're the good guy. But did you notice how I mentioned check my my suit jacket for to make sure I got my handgun with me, or my Beretta or whatever, right? Like I'm in incognito, make sure that I'm armed. See, that wasn't suggested to me by the story of the plot at all, but I introduced it into it, and then it made it part of the narrative, which is kind of interesting. And you can do it in much more robust ways. I've kind of goofed around and see if I could say, oh, I'm going to go walk into the other room and I'm going to spot this or something, or then I pick up a martini and I have it, or you just get an idea, how you can introduce things into the narrative. But what's interesting about this one is it's a little more structured, and if I go way off the rails, it seems to try to bring me back in, and it does that by means of the multiple choice as well. But my dialogue back to it can include a lot of different things that imbue the story with more personality and then kind of inform the decision tree going on. So that's kind of interesting, very kind of wild in a way, I think. So I think it's a nice blend of the two in a way. Now, also from a gameplay standpoint, and I don't know, maybe Robin Christopherson from the Dot to Dot, being the fact that he's done thousands of skills and games episodes, I don't know if I've ever been in a game that really interacted this way, and you may not have noticed, but I had played this previously. I love the idea of the music, right? And the music playing in the background, I guess it gives a nice gaming ambiance, just versus me, talking to a text-to-speech engine that's talking back to me. But what's also interesting is it kind of keeps the app going, the game, the skill going. So I can pause for almost like an infinite period of time to think about how I want to take my next decision. And then I say, hey, lady, discreetly observe the woman as she's about to steal the diamond or whatever. I can then phrase, I got plenty of time to wait to how I want to cater my phrase and then move forward from that point. So that's kind of interesting. I don't recall another game. I mean, I've heard other games where you have to say the name to kind of, but I don't know if there was an infinite pause, if that was always now maybe eventually if I let it sit there for 5 minutes, maybe we'd eventually time out. I would say too, if you do manage to get into this, like I said, I had some difficulty with this today, be sure to use the phrase exit later, because otherwise it'll just keep playing the music or if I said no, it thinks I'm trying to say no inside the game, So anyway, very kind of interesting. I like it versus the character AIs kind of adventure games or different scenarios, or you're on a spaceship and you're a command staff or something, traveling to Mars or something, whatever the case may be. That often starts you with a very basic narrative, like you're a guy in this room, and then you just kind of choose from there where to go. While this seems to have more of a story arc to it that you can kind of craft. Now, ultimately, whether that's true or not, I haven't played it all the way through, but I think it gives you kind of a nice taste for how it could be. And think about the other thing I like about this is the NPCs can be informed by your dialogue and your actions to kind of cater to you, and your gameplay is very likely to be genuinely unique compared to anybody else. Especially the more and more you step outside those multiple choice answers, or you add, some flavor to it, so that's generally kind of interesting. Now, of course, this is informing just a pure verbal game and not like an actual, like we're playing a video game where we see characters on the screen and stuff, but really kind of, informs you about what the future may hold in all arenas. So anyway, I don't know, I'm rambling on now, but definitely kind of interesting. And by all means, go check out the other one by just saying character AI as well. Now, This skill game AI game master is US only, I do believe, at the moment, but definitely kind of interesting to inform the industry about where things may be going in the future and choose your own adventure style games. Well, you're welcome to reach out to me with any thoughts or suggestions about a future episode. You can do so at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys on Facebook or Twitter, now known as X, or you can even drop us an email at info@goodwillvalleys.com. And by all means, in the subject line of the email or somewhere in the post, just say you're trying to reach the New Vision program or the Echo Tips podcast, and that message will be directed my way. Well, until next time, it's time to turn the ears back on your Echo, start practicing some of the many, many things that you've learned. I'm David Ward for the New Vision program, and we do thank you for listening.
This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. And we thank you for listening. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision.